Today on an all-new Dr. Phill.
Listen to me, you idiot! Shut up! Shut up!
Her daughter is 13.
Do you hate your mother?
Yes.
Do I ever want to go home? No, Mom! You're not home!
And out of control.
She grabbed the knife and was threatening to kill me.
I do not remember that.
And you don't remember banging her head against the sliding glass door?
I didn't touch her.
One of you's lying. What would you do if you had a 13-year-old daughter and she punched her brother in the face? What if she grabbed you by your mouth and chin and slammed your head into the refrigerator? What if she pulled a knife and held it to your throat and threatened, I am going to kill you? Well, today we're going to meet this teen terror and her mom, who says she has completely lost control of her daughter. And she just says, frankly, I'm out of options.
Listen to me, you idiot! Shut up! Shut up! Do I ever want to go home? No, Mom! You're not home! Do you not see the Do you not see the you put me through? Stop being stupid!
Monica says she's so fed up that she would surrender Micaiah to child services. She says, I'd just give her up if I thought it would help.
Listen to me, you idiot! Shut up! Shut up!
My 13-year-old daughter, Micaiah, is out of control. She is very hateful to me.
I do not like you.
I can feel that. I
You
know you don't.
understand that.
Micaiah tells me that she hates me, that I'm stupid. She calls me a
When I'm pissed off and in my room punching the out of my wall, you should not come in there.
Micaiah has been arrested twice for third-degree assault for assaulting me. The first time Micaiah was arrested, she bit me on the inside of my bicep. Over the last several years, the police have been called to our home about 17 times. Micaiah is a master at manipulating people. I've seen her manipulate the police, doctors, teachers. She was suspended the first part of her 7th grade year. She was caught with tobacco. She's punched a hole in her wall. The hole didn't start out this big. It was 1 fist size. But over the last several weeks, it has gotten increasingly bigger and bigger. She has been taken to the emergency room numerous times. She's been in juvenile detention center twice. She spent 30 days in an inpatient residential care. And she was placed in a foster home for 4 months. The last year, Micaiah has run away from home 6 to 7 times. Micaiah has total control over me and my family. When she is gone, it's more peaceful.
You piss me off. You piss me off so much that I can't even be in the same house as you.
I fear the choices that Micaiah is doing right now will destroy her life and that she may end up dead.
Well, Monica's ex-husband, Cliff, the bio father of this child, is listening to the show by phone because there's an order of protection in place. We won't hear from Cliff until later when I can speak to him privately. But first, I want to talk to Micaiah's mother, Monica. Now, Monica, I'm going to ask you some questions that I think only a mother can give me insight to. See, I think everybody has a way of being in the world. Why is your daughter choosing this way?
Well, part of the reason I'm here is to find that out because I don't know why she's choosing to be this way. But I think it works for her to some extent. She doesn't feel like I love her. She honestly feels like I don't love her. She feels like I favor my other 3 children over her.
Do you?
I do not.
How do you react to her when she gets upset?
I try not to show any kind of reaction to her that she's causing me, that she's causing me to get angry, to get upset, or anything like that. I just try and remain kind of level.
I just heard a key word there. You said, I try. If you have ownership in why this girl is doing what she's doing, why she is running so hard, why she is so angry, you need to own it and tell me what it is, because you don't want to waste your time with me digging out of you what you already know to be true. What are you doing to screw this up?
I don't know.
Well, let me tell you what she says you're doing to screw it up.
Okay.
She says you're two-faced, and she absolutely hates you. She says that you've told her you're acting just like your dad. True or false?
That is true.
But I asked you just a few minutes ago, what is it you're doing that's contributing to her maladaptive behavior, her lack of adjustment into this family and into this life? You said, I got no idea. Well, you've said I would turn her over to Child Protective Services if I could. If I thought it'd help, yeah, take her. Go with her. That's not what a kid wants to hear. You act just like your dad, who, by the way, you're divorced from. So that's not a ringing endorsement. She says you yell that it's always her fault. She says that you hit and slap her in the face. True or false?
False.
Never hit her?
No.
Okay. She says that you put her on meds that don't fit, that you've thrown a chair and that you've choked her.
Not true.
Tells her every day, not occasionally, but every day, I wish I had never had you.
Never said that. Those words have never come out of my mouth.
She said during big fights, you say, I so wish I had had an abortion.
Never said that.
All right, Monica says last year her daughter was handcuffed and charged with third-degree assault after Micaiah threatened her life. Take a look at this.
Micaiah's aggression towards me has gotten so bad that she threatened to kill me with a bread knife. She had got suspended from school for having tobacco in her backpack and had tried to blame her sister and her brother for it being theirs. She was mad that her brother had said no, it wasn't his, and so she kicked him in the groin, and I got between the two of them to break the fight up. She pulled out this knife and held it up to me, and she told me she was going to kill me. She grabbed me and she was holding the knife and she was going to kill me, bitch, is what she said to me. My 11-year-old son then had to call 911.
911, what's the emergency?
She's grabbing a knife and she's trying to hurt my mom.
Is that Michaela doing all the screaming?
She was arrested for third-degree assault once again.
Monica says her 13-year-old daughter, Micaiah, is so out of control she needed help to get her to the show. We sent a team of professional transporters to Monica's home to help bring her here. Were they successful? Well, let's take a look.
Monica?
Yes.
I'm Victor Lopez. Nice to meet you. This is my partner,
Lonnie Vasquez.
Hi, Lonnie.
Hi, how are you?
Come on in. I can't control her. She's running away. Verbally abusive, physically abusive.
We're here to take you from point A to point B safely.
Hi.
Hi, Micaiah. How are you?
Good.
Did you get my message?
Yeah?
You know, Connie really wants you to babysit, so
When?
tonight, like about 6 o'clock.
Alright.
I've got butterflies in my stomach. I'm really nervous about it. My brother Ryan and sister-in-law are going to pick her up and bring her here.
So when they pull up, we'll be in Suburban. Once they pull up, we will pull up right behind them.
I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know whether she'll be kicking and screaming and swearing.
Basically, we expect the worst.
All right, she already gave us a 3-minute signal. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Get out.
Next, did she put up a fight? Did she take off running? Did she make it to the show? Or is it going to be just me and Mom trying to solve their problems? Find out when we come back.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Monday on an all-new Dr. Phill.
I'm gonna go get the spanking spoon.
He wanted his wife to repent.
That's one. You want another one?
You said I was spanking the demons out of her.
I said she looked like she had demons.
The shocking video
Say yes, sir.
Were you possessed?
that will have everyone talking.
I did it to stop the bad behavior. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong!
That's Monday.
The text messages that Micaiah has sent me have been horrible. She's told me to that I'm crazy, that I don't love her. It's very, very hurtful.
Well, Monica says her daughter Micaiah ran away from home 2 weeks ago, so she was worried about getting her to the show by herself. So we sent professional transporters to help Monica get her daughter here safely. Didn't want any drama, wanted everything safe. Take a look.
Get out.
Hi, Micaiah. I wanted to introduce you to some people that are going to help you. This is Victor, and this is Lonnie.
I might have to ask you for your cell phone.
Why?
And we'll explain everything once you get in the vehicle.
We can do this the easy way, we can do this the hard way.
Thank you.
Where are you taking me?
I'll let you know once you're in the car.
You try to run, we're gonna have to chase you down. And then he has handcuffs.
I'm not gonna run. Where would I go? I have no place to go. I'm just pretty pissed off.
You know what? I don't blame you. What was the first thing, like, you realized, man, I did not like my mom. What happened?
When she took us away from our dad, then she took me into a mental hospital and put me on, like, a lot of drugs.
As I'm seeing them drive off, I'm worried, I'm scared. I am starting to feel a little bit, I don't know if relief is the right word. It's been a really emotional day.
Well, she's made it. Transporters Victor and Lonnie have been with her every step of the way, ensuring her safety and well-being. So, Micaiah, come on out. Okay. Your mother is saying that the things that you're saying that she has said to you, done to you, the ways in which she engaged you are just simply not true. So one of you's lying.
The truth is that she has said this to me. Every single day I hear it, that she wished she never had me. And when we get into big fights, she tells me that she wished she would have had an abortion.
Mm-hmm. So your mother's lying to me?
Correct.
Why would she do that?
Because, like I told you when I was on the phone, she is two-faced. She only acts, appropriate around me when there is authority around.
So if somebody's around that could impact her life or judge her in some way or create havoc for her, then she puts on a goody two-shoes face and behaves differently.
Correct.
Uh-huh. And how about the things that we were describing with regard to you about pulling a knife and threatening to hurt people and saying hurtful things? What about that?
Well, she told me that I pulled a knife on her. I do not recall pulling a knife on her.
What do you mean you don't remember?
I don't remember. I remember because we were in the kitchen, she threw the chair on my legs, and then I was walking across the room to my back door to leave the house, which is when she tackled me on the floor, which is when her hand was around my neck, and then my younger brother was kicking my head, and I, passed out. I just remember waking up, and the cops were there, and I was in handcuffs.
Uh-huh. Why was your younger brother kicking your head?
Because I was biting my mom's arm because I couldn't breathe.
And why couldn't you breathe?
Because my mom's arm was around my neck.
She was choking you?
Correct.
Did that happen?
There were parts of it that I would agree with.
Were you on the floor with your daughter with your arm around her neck?
I was on the floor with my daughter holding her arms and legs so that she wouldn't hurt me, herself, or anybody else.
Okay, what happened that triggered this where you had to do a takedown and restrain her?
She had grabbed the knife and was threatening to kill me.
Mm-hmm. But you don't remember pulling the knife?
Correct, I do not remember that.
And you don't remember banging her head against the sliding glass door?
I didn't touch her, she touched me.
Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that Micaiah said she never wanted to speak to her mom again, she had a lot to say once they arrived in Los Angeles. Take a look.
Why is it come to this point that you have to take me out of my house to drive me all the way to LA?
I've tried everything else that I know to do
By
to try and help you.
taking me to mental hospitals and put me on medication, I was working hard to get to a place where I could be stable and not want to kill myself every single night.
I understand that.
No, you don't understand that, Mom. No, Mom, listen to me. Listen to me. Do you ever go to your room at night and cry and cut?
No.
Do you? No.
No.
No. Did your mom tell you that she hated you? No. Do you have a giant hole in your wall because you get so pissed off that you don't know what to do? No. Then you have never been through what I went through. Therefore, you will never understand what I'm going through. Therefore, you will never understand me.
That's why I'm trying to
Do you know
find
nothing
that
about
out.
me? Do you know my best friend? No. Do you know anything about me? No.
But
I do
can
not want to talk to you
understand
because I do not like you.
I can feel that.
Do you
I know you
understand
don't.
that?
I don't understand that, and I'm trying to understand
because you
that.
will never understand that. Do you think that I really need medication?
I don't know. I'm thinking that medication
I think you're full of so shut up. I do not like you. I hate you, Mom.
I've heard
Get
you say that.
Through your head.
And where you've been staying with Emily, that's a better situation?
Obviously. Have I left? No. You're just pissed off because she can still be a better mother to me than you can ever be. Do I ever want to go home? No, Mom. You're not home. Emily is my home. Emily is my mother. Not you.
Do you hate your mother?
Yes.
Why?
Because of everything that she has put me through. I have been through hospitals, therapists that have not helped me, medication that have left me in my bathroom wanting to kill myself.
Have you attempted to kill yourself?
Yes.
5 times?
More than that.
You've been hospitalized for it 5 times.
Correct.
You understand that your behavior means that somebody has to do something to protect you from yourself.
But the thing was, my behavior wasn't like that until I went to the hospitals. Until the first time I went to the hospital, I came out, I was not the same.
Why did you wind up in the hospital?
Because my mom took me there because she didn't want me around the house.
So she just thought, you know, it's just too crowded here, I'm going to take her to the hospital.
Pretty much.
Now, you don't believe that.
I do, honestly.
You have no ownership in it whatsoever.
Correct.
Okay, Micaiah says her mom ruined her life by keeping her away from her father. We're going to find out what he has to say about all this when we come back.
Can I go and live with my dad? I want to know why I cannot go and live with my dad. She took me away from my dad. He's always been there for me when my mom hasn't.
Here's a picture of our family when Micaiah was only 3. And at some point, Micaiah has cut me out of the picture. She's angry at me, and she doesn't want me in there. It's really, really sad.
Monica says her 13-year-old daughter, Micaiah, has assaulted her twice, pulled a knife on her, shoved her, bitten her, bullied her siblings, and now wants nothing to do with her. Monica says Micaiah's bad behavior spiraled out of control when her marriage went south.
My ex-husband and I separated 5 years ago. I think that has had an impact on Micaiah's behavior.
Can I go and live with my dad? I want to know why I cannot go and live with my dad.
Because your dad hasn't done the necessary things. Micaiah was close with her dad prior to the separation. Micaiah was definitely her dad's favorite child, and they spent a lot of time together, just the two of them.
She took me away from my dad. My dad was like the biggest role model in my life. He's always pushed me to do my best. He's always been there for me when my mom hasn't.
You say all of this really upsets you, what she's saying now about all this. Why?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, her dad has not been involved in her life since really 2009. And in 2011, he could only have supervised visits with the kids. And then in 2012, that changed to therapeutic supervised visits with the children. He's been kicked out of 3 different institutions that oversee these supervised visits. Furthermore, when he had when he did have visits set up, there were many, many times where the other 3 kids would go, and Micaiah didn't want to go because she didn't want to see her dad.
I refused to see my dad for was it about a year? Mm-hmm. But that was because the therapist that my mom was making me see at the time, she told me not to.
Okay, so why is he under a protective order where I can't even talk to him with you two here?
There's a protection order in place with me because of domestic violence.
So what do you want?
What do I want? I want to be happy. I want this to be resolved. I do not want to go home with my mom.
And where would you live over the next couple of years?
Like for now, I want to live with Emily, which is who I've been staying with.
And who is that?
My best friend's mom.
Have you done anything maladaptive there?
No.
You don't steal, fight, tear stuff up,
Do drugs?
run away, do drugs?
I don't do drugs in her house. No, she does not know that I do drugs.
Well, she does now.
Does she know you drink?
What?
Does she know you drink?
No, that's a drug.
All right, I'm going to excuse Monica and her daughter now so I can talk to the father in this, Monica's ex-husband, Cliff. There's a protection order in place. The three cannot be in any kind of contact, even through me or on the phone or whatever, regarding Cliff and his ex-wife. I'm going to talk to him when we come back, and then we'll come up with a plan here. We'll be right back.
I had more fun in jail than living with you, Mom. You make me miserable. You piss me off. You piss me off so much that I can't even be in the same house as you.
What would make a 13-year-old hate her mother so much that she refuses to live with her? Well, people have different points of view and opinions. I'm going to ask her father, Cliff, that very question. What do you have to add to the understanding here about what I might be able to use to help your daughter?
So, in my opinion, Monica plays the victim very well. Yes, is there a restraining order? Absolutely. Now, do you know the circumstances behind that? I don't think you do, and Monica probably won't tell you this, but she tried to break down my door to my apartment, and I called the cops. They came out. They were going to arrest her, and I didn't want that when we were separated, and I called her over and over and over and over, and I got charged with phone harassment, which is under domestic violence. We had joint custody of the kids, and she was talking to the kids about stuff, and I defended myself and got them involved in adult issues, told them that their mom was a liar, and I got in trouble for that, and I paid, and we started doing supervised visits. The judge ordered supervised visits, and she said, if the kids are asking to do supervised visits outside, do stuff outside of the supervised visits, and both parties agree to go ahead and do it. Well, the kids were asking, McKay in specific was asking to do things outside of those supervised visits. She wanted to go to lunch, she wanted to go fishing, she wanted to go camping. And each week I sent emails to Monica saying, hey, McKay is asking to do this. And the judge says it's okay if we both agree. And she wouldn't agree. After that fourth week is when McKay started throwing fits and doing this. And so the supervised visits changed when Monica got a therapist to write a letter that said that McKay and Bo needed therapeutic visits. Well, mysteriously, that therapist was no longer used after that order was changed to therapeutic visits. So every time we made progress, something happened, a letter from a therapist, or Monica would contact the therapist and say, hey, Cliff was telling the kids that underage drinking's okay. We need to stop these visits. And they would believe her.
Can I jump in here a second?
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you can share with me that would help me help your daughter find some peace?
You know, if Monica isn't helped, McKay won't get helped. If I'm not helped, McKay won't get helped.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Is there anything you can tell me that would help me help your daughter find some peace? I'm really not here to try to improve your relationship with Monica. I don't think you want to reconcile with her or she with you. What I'm interested in is if there's anything you can share with me that I can use to help your daughter find some peace in her life.
Yeah, if she has a father, she's been begging for a father, and if outside influences can stop sabotaging the progress with that, that's what can help.
What is your opinion of why Micaiah is so violently angry?
My opinion is she feels that Monica is keeping her from her father. She has said it many times that she wants to be with me. and Monica does anything and everything to prevent it.
Okay, so you think if she was with you that the anger would resolve?
I'm thinking that if she could spend time with me, not necessarily be with me full time, I don't want to take her from her mom. I want to enhance her life and get that anger out of her. And if she can spend time with her father, she can have both parents in her life, which she needs both parents.
It's going to be very difficult to co-parent with you and Monica having so much anger and angst that is obviously very raw between the two of you.
She's never been willing to co-parent, even when the anger wasn't there. She's always been controlling and manipulating and wants to make all the decisions. She was always that way.
All right, gotcha. All right, Cliff, I'm going to have to say goodbye for now. You'll be able to continue listening as we wrap things up here. Next, is there any way for McKay and Monica to call a truce? I'm going to bring them back out. I'm going to tell them what I think needs to happen here after the break.
I have 3 other children. Micaiah's behavior is very difficult with the other kids. They wished Micaiah would go live someplace else. My daughter, Kylie's very mad at Micaiah for what she's doing.
She's hurtful to my brothers. She just wants to feel like everything revolves around her. I'm really mad at her.
It's very scary for all of the kids.
Okay, well, there's another sister involved here, and that's Kylie, right?
Yes.
Your sister, Kylie. What's the truth here? And I hate to put you on the spot, but all I'm trying to do is help this family, and I can't do it if I don't know the truth.
My mom's a very loving mom, and she's trying to help Micaiah. She's trying as hard as she can. She just wants the best for her, and she doesn't know why she feels angry. And when she's punching walls and is refusing to get my mom's help, she doesn't know what to do.
How do you get along with your sister?
We get along most of the time, but as soon as something makes her angry or upset, then she just goes off, and then we lose that connection.
Have you heard your mother say to her numerous times, "I'm sorry I ever had you, I wish I'd gotten an abortion," any of that?
No, I've never heard her say that.
This is not a Micaiah problem. It's not like you're the bad seed here, you're the bad kid, you're the one that's the screw up, and if we could just get you fixed, this family would be fine.
Why are you shaking your head?
Because it's not just your problem.
Then why do I feel like that? When I'm over here getting therapy, nobody else is doing therapy, it's all just me. You're all just playing the game. I'm actually over here working. I was working with Tanya, I was working with everybody, Mom. I was working so hard to get to a place where I could control my anger and let it out in a positive way. That's why I was punching my walls instead of cutting and instead of taking it out on you. So if you had a choice, me cutting myself or me punching holes in my wall, which would you pick?
The holes in the wall, I guess?
Exactly.
You're not the first angry young girl that I have talked to. I get that you're really upset right now. And frankly, I don't look at you and ask myself why you're upset, angry, cutting, knocking holes in walls, running away, medicating yourself with drugs or alcohol. I really ask myself, why not? The behavior really went off the rails about the time you and your husband started having a lot of trouble and you wound up getting a separation and a divorce. You know, for every action in this world, there's a reaction. And I think when that family started falling apart and everybody started choosing up sides and everything got hostile, you kind of got marginalized. You kind of got pushed over to the side here. You said, well, okay, so I'll make my own way. But it's not you, it's this whole family. I totally get that. Are you willing to go home, stop doing alcohol, stop smoking dope, and live harmoniously with your mother in your home?
No.
I think if I'm over here looking at you from her point of view, I don't see a soft place to fall at all.
Right.
You've withdrawn emotion here to a degree, have you not?
Yeah, it's the learned behavior, and I have, absolutely.
You're going to have to get over this hostility with your husband. I don't know, you know, I've got some information about why y'all got a divorce. It's still very raw. You take great pleasure in dogging on him, and he takes great pleasure in dogging on you, in my opinion. I asked him, you know, what can I do to help your daughter? What can you tell me that would help me help your daughter? And he spent 75% of the time telling me what a saboteur you are. You two need to get this resolved, and I'm willing to get you some help with that, very specialized help with that, and I'm willing to offer you some very specialized help as well. But there is no point in her doing the things she needs to do if this family doesn't do what it needs to do, because you can take her off and get her happy in a vacuum over here, off by herself, and she comes back into this toxic environment. It's going to be the same way it was before she left. There is no point in helping her if you people don't change your game. No point in it. No point in it. She didn't choose any of this. The adults in this situation chose that, and she got caught in the crossfire. So, what do you think about what I'm saying?
I think that's 100% correct. Thank you.
I don't want you to go home. This is Matt Polachek right here. Matt, raise your hand. It's Matt Polachek here. He's from a place out here in California called the Center for Discovery. It's down in Whittier. And I want to introduce you guys to Matt and let you talk backstage. But going home with her, to me, is not an option. Fair enough? All right. These days, it seems like so many young girls are struggling like Micaiah. Well, there are other options. Next, I have a big announcement about my wife, Robin, and how she's helping girls all over America become confident, empowered, and strong young women. We'll be right back. Okay, I am here with my wife, Robin, who has been working incredibly hard on her foundation, When Georgia Smiled, the Robin McGraw Revelation Foundation.
It's been such an incredible year since launching the foundation, and we have been so busy. We're helping shelters, providing legal services to women and children, and doing all we can to improve the lives of those affected by domestic violence so they can live safe, healthy, and joy-filled lives. And that's just the beginning.
Well, it's just the beginning because I have some big news. But first, we're going to invite someone very special to join us. Please welcome the CEO of Girl Scouts of the USA, Ana Maria Chavez. How are you? Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning. Good to see you. Now, the reason I've asked Ana to join us is because she is involved with some big plans with Robin's Foundation.
I love this woman and everything Girl Scouts stand for. They help build girls of courage, confidence, and character, and who wouldn't want all of those qualities?
And today I get to play the role of proud husband because I've been given the honor of sharing some huge news. Are you ready? Okay. I am thrilled to announce that my wife, Robin McGraw, has just been named the celebrity spokeswoman for Girl Scouts of the USA. Now, this is so in her wheelhouse because Girl Scouts have been instrumental in shaping girls into success stories. Did you know that almost every female astronaut was a Girl Scout?
Some of the biggest celebrities were Girl Scouts, too. For example, Dakota Fanning, I love her, Taylor Swift, Gwyneth Paltrow, Venus Williams, and Michelle Obama.
How about that?
And now we have Robin! We are so excited
excited to have her support and the support of her amazing foundation, When Georgia Smiled, because they promised to help us with our major campaign called To Get Her There. It is the largest fundraising campaign for girls' leadership in the history of the United States. So thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. Well, I cannot tell you how much this means to me. I was actually a Girl Scout growing up my entire life, and I have to tell you, I was a brownie leader before we ever even had children. Of course, we never had a daughter, but...
Seriously, we're married for like months, and I come home and she says, I got a brownie troop.
I did.
We don't have a daughter. I know.
I called the Girl Scout Council when we were first married. I said, yes, I'd like to volunteer. I want to volunteer to be a brownie leader. And they said, great, great. What school does your daughter go to? I said, well, I actually don't have a daughter. I have no children, newlywed, but I still want to volunteer. And they said, wow, this is a first. But I got myself a brownie troop, and it was so much fun. They were just adorable, adorable. I made one mistake. I read the newsletter out loud to them before I really scanned it. And I said, oh, girls, we're going to have a camp out, citywide camp out. They got all excited. And then I went, oh, whoa, wait a minute. We're not eligible. First year brownies, of course, they're all crying. They all start crying. I'm like, oh, what have I done? We'll have a camp out in my backyard. And we did. And they loved it, I'm sure.
Well, Robin, we have a little surprise for you. We received some video messages from your biggest Girl Scout fans. Here's what they had to say.
Hi, Robin. Some people think Girl Scouts is for the younger girls, but I'm a junior in high school and I'm still a Girl Scout. I love how you support young women to become strong, healthy, and help others.
Hi, Robin. I am 13 and love how you care about how Girl Scouts believe we can be and do anything by standing up for ourselves and having strong values. The issues of violence and abuse are very close to my heart. It is encouraging to me when persons such as Robin create programs that can help prevent abuse. She is an inspiration to me and to so many others.
I was watching when Robin said, if you allow other people to erode your good opinion of yourself, you're giving them power over you. It helped me to believe in myself. The only opinion that matters is yours.
Of you both to say that.
Well, the Girl Scouts of the USA is collaborating with When Georgia Smiled, which is an amazing foundation, and they're going to help us enable girls across the country to reach their potential. You know, Girl Scouts has been around for 102 years. We've provided after-school programming for girls to allow them to become the leaders they want to be in their lives. And so for us, it's about creating new memories with them. It's about enlightening them and educating them so they can place a major focus on not only on their lives, but how they can change lives in their local communities.
To help transform as many girls' lives as possible, my foundation, When Georgia Smiled, is joining forces with Girl Scouts of USA's To Get Her There fundraising campaign to do just that. We all must be diligent and passionate in our support for girls, and it begins today.
We'll tell you how you can help girls across the country when we come back. Well, I am here with my wife, Robin, and CEO Ana Maria Chavez. We've just announced that Robin is the celebrity spokesperson for Girl Scouts of the USA.
Girl and adult members in every U.S. zip code, and we're in over 90 countries in the world. But we also have 30,000 girls on wait lists nationwide who want to join, but cannot because we have a shortage of volunteers.
I mentioned earlier that we need your help to ensure that every girl in every zip code has an opportunity to become a Girl Scout. Go to girlscouts.org/join for more information.
If you want to support Girl Scouts, you can also go to Robin's website, whengeorgiasmile.org. All contributions will go directly to the Girl Scouts of the USA to invest in girls so they can change the world.
Of course, the Girl Scouts didn't come come empty-handed. I mean, who doesn't love their cookies? I know I do. My favorite is, of course, the Thin Mints. I have a box of Girl Scout cookies for everyone in the audience.
My guest, and a special thanks to Ana Maria Chavez. And congratulations to you, Robin. I am so proud of you. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys.
Hello. I'm Anthony.
Nice to
I'm
meet
the
you.
resource director here at the show. This is Dr. Matt Polachek. Did you have a chance to think about it?
It's better than going home.
That's damn right. Let's get moving.
Dr. Phill said some pretty inspiring things. It made me happy that he actually told my mom that it's not all my fault.
I think that's great, and I think it's definitely a start. We're moving in the right direction.
Dr. Phill, thank you for everything that you've done for me. You've helped me a lot.
Today on Dr. Phill, his trial
He did kill my sister.
ended in a hung jury.
I didn't kill Lori. My life's been destroyed over this.
So is mine.
With so much at stake,
If he failed his polygraph, then I think this case needs to be reopened.
what will the polygraph reveal?
Did you kill Lori Ann Hill? And the results are...
Oh. Dr. Phill, I'm gonna be sick.
Recently, we were on the edge of our seats trying to get answers as to who was responsible for the death of 14-year-old Lori Ann Hill 29 years ago. Lori's sister Rachel was pointing the finger at her little sister's ex-boyfriend Walt over her murder. Here's what happened.
Who killed 14-year-old Lori Ann Hill?
Lori Ann was laid to rest in 1985 after she was murdered and found naked in a wooded area. Her case went cold until 3 years ago. That's when investigators made Lori's ex-boyfriend, Walter Zimbeck, a suspect due to his admitted lies he told investigators at the time, scratches on his arms the day after the murder, and no solid alibi.
Lori was 12 when she met Walt.
Did you kill Lori Ann Hill?
I haven't had a chance in 27 years to miss my sister. It's been so consumed with catching Walt Zimbeck. I hate you, and I know you killed Lori.
You are convinced that Walter Zimbeck did this to your sister.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt. The rage I feel about Walt is overwhelming. I wouldn't mind seeing his spine severed so that he has to go through a torture every single day like me.
I've never hated somebody so bad in my life.
We're not looking for vigilante justice here. Walt says he is innocent.
Rachel has become fixated on me as the one and only person of interest in her sister's death. But I had nothing to do with it. I've always been in love with Lori, and I still love her even today. I did not have any scratches, blood, or any mark whatsoever on my body. When I learned that Lori had been murdered, I was crushed. The police have no evidence against me whatsoever. I'm innocent.
How do you feel sitting across from the man you believe bludgeoned your sister to death?
Absolutely sick to my stomach because I know you killed Lori. I know it, and you know it.
I think she's lost her mind.
Did you lie to the police?
I give two conflicting stories at one time where I left out the fact that I was actually with a girl the night that this took place.
Why would there be two versions at all? I mean, somebody's dead here.
I was 18 years old. I was scared. I was nervous.
Did you have 4 different alibis?
I was at the mall. I've always said I was at the mall.
Did you talk to her that day?
Never talked to Lori that day.
He's lying. He's a liar.
They've tried me and found me not guilty. It still ruined my life. Lori's murder has destroyed me.
Now, you just said a jury found you not guilty. That isn't true.
It was a mistrial.
No, sir. It was a hung jury.
The state is not precluded from refiling charges against Mr. Zimbeck in the future if circumstances dictate, since there is no statute of limitations on murder.
I do wonder if Rachel was involved somehow in Lori's death. Rachel has never been cleared as a suspect.
Are you out of your mind? I didn't kill Lori. I will take a lie detector right this second, with or without him doing it, Everything that I have told you is the God's honest truth. They should have hung you 20 years ago.
Is it possible that you're wrong?
No, sir. I know he killed my sister.
You're full of
Let's do the polygraph.
You said you would take a polygraph?
Yes, sir.
And you said you'd take a polygraph about whether or not you killed her sister.
Let's do it.
I want everyone to get closer to the truth. After the show, Rachel and Walt did not hold back their thoughts about each other and what they felt happened in studio.
When I saw Walt and Amber walk out onto the stage, I had unbelievable anger. I was very thankful that Dr. Phill had set up the bodyguards to protect me from my own reactions. My first thought was, you're still as disgusting as I saw you in court. And my next thought was, when you sit in that chair, I hope I can jump hard enough to snap your back. When we were on the show, I was really happy that the more I sat quiet, the more Dr. Phill worked at Walt's story, and it just started falling apart, and that brought me a lot of happiness.
I just asked you if you lied to police. You said no, never. And here you're telling police, in quotes, no, I'm not denying that. Those were bold-faced lies.
That was the police officer's statement that I made bold-faced lies. When he said that, those was...
You said, okay, I'm not denying that.
Hang on a second. My attorney can show you this in a minute.
And you said you'd take a polygraph about whether or not you killed her sister.
Yes, sir.
When Walt agreed to the lie detector test, I absolutely did not believe that he was going to come back. I suspect Walt will find a reason at some point between now and the lie detector test to get out of it. That would be in his best interest because he's going to the penitentiary for what he did to my sister.
I was told Rachel was trying to seek closure and was wanting to get help and try to put an end to all this. Instead, I felt like Rachel and Dr. Phill tried to play judge and jury and could try to retry me right there on the stage. I was not prepared for the questions that they asked. I was prepared for a totally different look at this whole show. Now, if they ask me the tough questions, I am ready. I do believe I wasn't given a chance to speak on the show. If I don't get to tell my story this time, I'll just leave. I've had enough.
I have to tell you, I don't think Walt and I were even on the same show. I think he had plenty of opportunities to refute Rachel's claims, but today he's back, and I will give him yet another chance to get his side of the story out. Rachel is here as well. They flew here to Los Angeles to take those polygraph tests. We'll see how it went, or if Walt backed out like Rachel predicted he would do. All of that after the break.
Coming up.
I was being accused of killing Lori Hill all over again and felt like I was being tried on the stage with no evidence.
So you didn't say some things that you wish you had said?
Exactly.
How is that my responsibility?
And later.
Question number 1, did you kill Lori Ann Hill? Your answer was?
No.
Were you present when Lori died? Your answer was?
No.
And the results are?
We now return to, did Walt kill his ex-girlfriend? The polygraph test results revealed.
I was pretty displeased with the first show. I was blindsided by Dr. Phill and Rachel, who never shut up the entire time. They were more or less accusing me of killing Lori. The bottom line is that I am the victim, and the show tried to portray me as a criminal. I believe Rachel is clearly mentally unstable. Rachel is a suspect. She has never been cleared by any police department, and she did claim at one point that she wanted to kill her sister. She will not pass her lie detector test. I am here today to prove that I did not kill Lori and take this lie detector test and put this behind me once and for all.
Walt, how are you? Good to see you. Amber, how are you? Now, there were some things that they tell me that you said you wanted to set the record straight on.
Yes, sir.
The floor is yours.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is that there is no way that I can be retried.
If you're not going to be retried, and as I said before, I don't think you're going to be retried.
No.
It's my understanding that it was a hung jury, and so this had been dismissed without prejudice. So,
well, that Rachel's point was that I could be retried, and I was going to be retried, and you know, I just wanted to make the point clear of the legal issues. In the last show, I told you that the detective got on the stand and said that he could lie. And that's what I want to show her, that people do lie.
My question to you at the time was not, did they lie to you? Because they can lie to a suspect. Correct. The Supreme Court has held that they can lie to a suspect in pursuit of the truth, correct?
That's correct. That is correct.
My question to you was, are you saying that an officer of the court went into the court under oath and lied from the witness stand in court?
Yes, I am.
That's different from lying to you in interrogation. Those are two very different issues that will not be lost on your lawyer, Amber. We'll watch it right here. Did you lie to the police?
No, sir.
Okay, well, the reason I ask that is because on December 30th of 2008, you were confronted with your 1985 statements. They say, what did you do that night? And you said, well, I was at home at 7 and I went to sleep at 11, which isn't true because your mom says you weren't home. You said, right, I wasn't home. Then 4 days later, you talked to different police. You say, I went to Southwick, hung out with this girl. I can't remember her last name. She was at my house from 10 till 2, which wasn't true, right? She wasn't at your house from 10 to 2. Your answer, no, she was not. And they say, all right, those statements that you gave were, and you finish the sentence and say lies. I just asked you if you lied to police. You said, no, never. And here you're telling police, in quotes, no, I'm not denying that. Those were bold-faced lies.
Well, that was the police officer's statement that I made bold-faced lies.
So the police are lying here?
Definitely.
Okay, and that's what you objected to before?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there any part of that that I read incorrectly?
You did read it correctly.
Okay, so what I read on the show was true and accurate in terms of what's in the appellate brief.
I was trying to express the fact was that, not that I was lying, the fact is that he was trying to say that I'm lying, so there was a confusion point in there.
Okay.
But if you'll listen to that tape of the conversation that we had in whole, you'll understand a whole lot more of, in the words, it does look bad where you hear me go, Well, I'm keeping up with you. And I'm acknowledging that I'm listening to you.
Just acknowledging that I get what you're saying. I hear you,
yes,
I hear you.
Is not affirmative response. Is me keeping up with you.
The police said that you lied because they're saying there's no getting around that you said, what you said is just a bold-faced lie twice. Okay, I'm not denying that. I don't know what you said. I'm just telling you what they filed with the court as an officer of the court. You also said that I didn't give you a chance to tell your side of the story.
Correct.
And that I allowed Rachel to ridicule you on stage.
Correct.
In fact, I pulled some of those things together. Let's take a look at this.
Okay.
I think you may feel a little differently in retrospect. Well, why did you want to be here today?
This is my first chance since all the trial and everything to be able to give my side of the story of what actually has happened.
You know she's completely wrong because you know you didn't do it, right?
That's correct.
And you've not been convicted of doing it. And at this point, you understand that there is some basis for her suspicions from her standpoint, or you think no?
I think she's lost her mind.
I witnessed you on top of the babysitter. You had her straddled on my bed.
That's the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life.
But the police weren't called, and no reports were made.
Why don't you just stop now? Because anything that comes out of your mouth is absolutely
Well, she's not going to stop because she has as much right to make her statements and say what she wants to hear as do you.
Thank you.
That's what we call a conversation. There was no DNA found on the body from him.
There was no evidence.
Exactly. There was no DNA saying that he had his hands on her. You were given a polygraph test in November of 1985, correct?
Yes.
And the results were that was non-deceptive.
Yes, sir.
I did ask our expert, Jack Tremarco, to review this, and he refers to this as a protocol that's no longer used, but the way that protocol worked was very hard to pass. If there was an error, it would seem that the error would be against him, not for him. If you think he did it, then prove it. Because at this point, I'm not surprised the jury was hung. There are some things that don't look good, but listen, depriving someone of their liberty in America is a very high standard, as well it should be. And what you call proof is not going to be seen the way you see it here. She's making serious allegations against you. You've had the opportunity to deny them. I think I've put it all out here on the table. Would you agree?
I would.
Your complaints are what?
We felt that both of us were attacked. To step on that stage and hear for the first time that she was just released from a mental institution and had homicidal thoughts about killing us.
Just 2 nights ago, you were hospitalized.
Yes, I was.
Because you threatened Walter Zembeck's lawyer.
If threatened Walt Zembeck's life, I'd like to slap Amber to the floor.
Why were you hospitalized?
They were keeping me safe from hunting Amber and Walt down.
That you were going to hunt them down and kill them?
Yes.
And in fact, you promised your father.
And I promised him when I found the man who killed her that I would kill him. He would die a torturous, horrid death.
That right there set us off guard.
I would not let her keep you from saying what you wanted to say, and I didn't let you keep her from saying what she wanted to say. Let's call it a conversation.
Yeah.
All it was is her accusing me is the way I felt. I was being accused of killing Lori Hill all over again and felt like I was being tried on the stage with no evidence.
So you didn't say some things that you wish you had said?
Exactly.
How is that my responsibility?
First, I'd like to say that she needs to look in her own statements. She said that she wanted to kill her sister, had a shotgun to her mother's stomach, and wanted to kill her sister's friend with a beer bottle to her throat, and she blacked out and went to a mental hospital. She has no evidence to back up one thing that she says about me, but she wants to go on national television and try to make me look like I've done something that I haven't done.
If it matters to you at all, I don't know what happened and who killed this girl.
Nobody does.
I certainly never thought it was you.
I guess I am tired of her ridiculing me and the things that she says. I cared for Lori Hill. I do feel sorry for Rachel, and I really do, and she'll never believe that, and I don't even care. But the fact of it is that all the glaring and staring in the world doesn't upset me. It's childish on her part, and I think she needs to just realize, look at the facts. We both want to get to the bottom of this.
Do you feel like you've had your say?
I do feel like I've had my
now?
say today, and I want to thank you for that.
Coming up.
You were administered a polygraph by Jack Tremarco, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did Walt rip the shirt of the babysitter at your home in 1991? And your answer was?
Yes.
And the results were?
And later.
Question number 1, did you kill Lori Ann Hill? Your answer was?
No.
And the results are?
Dr. Phill, I'm gonna be sick.
And now the story continues. Did Walt kill his ex-girlfriend? The polygraph test results revealed.
On the last show, Walt lied about the acquittal, about attacking my babysitter. He had lied about the kilo of cocaine and my involvement with a motorcycle gang. And the biggest lie of all that he told was that he didn't murder my sister. 29 years ago, Walt was given a polygraph test in a very small town from a man who did not have a lot of credibility. And that's why I believe today, with understanding countermeasures and all of those things, that Walt has no chance of passing this test. I believe that Walt's polygraph will show the world what a liar, killing, rapist he is.
Rachel claims that you said she stole a kilo of cocaine and that she lied about you raping the babysitter.
She did lie about that.
And that she gave you Lori's earring.
When the warrant came down for him, in his possession, he had an earring that was round. Walt said that that earring was given to him by me at the funeral as a memorial type thing for him to remember Lori always.
Okay, and what's your point?
My point is, he beat that earring out of my sister's head that night.
That was your sister's earring?
It was my earring that my sister was wearing that night.
And so he was in possession of the earring she was wearing that night?
Yes.
She says that she didn't give it to me. How else did I get the earring? Lori was in her casket, and due to her injuries, they were unable to put the earring on her. And I got the earring as a keepsake.
Rachel has been watching our conversation, and she's going to join us now.
Dr. Phill.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Thank you.
Have a seat. Rachel, thank you for being here. You've been listening from another room. You've been able to watch and see what's gone on so far, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a specific goal in being here today?
The reason that I am back here is because he did attack my babysitter. He did kill my sister. From 1985 to 1991, Walt and I were buddies. I was storing a car for him in my garage when he attacked my babysitter.
So your thought was if he could do that, then he could have done the other?
Correct.
That's a huge leap, by the way, but I get your logic. You said that he was confused about the babysitter versus somebody that he had dated for 2 years. Well, let's look at what you said.
When we were on the show the last time, we briefly spoke about one of Walt's rape victims.
How would you know that he had raped someone? I mean, you weren't there.
I was there when he attempted it on my babysitter and had her face bleeding and her shirt ripped. I saw that.
The girl that she's talking about that says that I raped her, it was in court, and we dated for 2 years.
Generally, rapists and their victims don't have a lot of...
For a 2-year, exactly. A 2-year relationship of rape? I mean, is there no consensual sex anywhere?
When Walt said, how can you rape someone after dating them for 2 years, he must have been confused on which rape victim he was talking about. When Walt was talking about the 2-year dating, that was from a 14-year-old girl that he began dating after my sister's funeral. He met her there. Walt dated this young lady from 14 to 16, and when she broke up with him, that's when she was raped. And I know this to be true because this rape victim testified in court against Walt.
Rachel, almost every man that's entered in your family's life has either raped you, your daughter, Lori, or somebody that knows you.
That is
out of
a
your own
bold-faced
statement.
Well, I assume that you took a polygraph about this.
Yes, sir. About what?
So about whether you raped the babysitter or not.
No.
Or attempted to rape the babysitter or not.
No, I did not.
You did not?
No.
Why would you not do that?
I took about the death of Lori Hill. That's what I was here for.
Yet the polygraph examiner didn't question him about any issues of rape.
Yeah, I thought they had offered you to take a polygraph question about that, and you declined.
The reason why I didn't do it is because I'm here to prove my innocence of Lori Hill. I've never been charged. There's no charges ever pending. There's nothing on a rape. As far as I'm concerned, the rape never took place, and therefore I'm not going to answer to it.
Okay, so you were administered a polygraph by Jack Tremarco, correct?
Yes, sir.
And during that polygraph, were you explained everything about the polygraph
Yes,
to
sir.
your satisfaction?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the questions?
Yes, sir.
Fully and completely?
Yes,
Did
sir.
you feel like it was a valid test?
Yes, sir.
You were actually given 2 polygraphs. And in your first polygraph test, you were asked the question, during 1991, at your house, did Walt rip the babysitter's shirt?
Yes.
And your answer was?
Yes.
And then it was asked a second way.
Correct.
Just for validity purposes. Did Walt rip the shirt of the babysitter at your home in 1991? And your answer was?
Yes.
Okay. And the results were?
Coming up.
I have here the polygraph test for Walt. If he failed his polygraph, then I think this case needs to be reopened. If he didn't, then I think you need to change your position.
My life has been destroyed over this.
So is mine.
So do we open this or do we not?
We now return to Did Walt Kill His Ex-Girlfriend? The polygraph test results revealed.
Today's the day I've been looking for almost 30 years to prove that Walt Zimbeck killed my sister. I am hoping that they're going to ask me about his attack on my babysitter. There will be no surprises from me at all on my polygraph test. I will pass.
In your first polygraph test, you were asked the question, during 1991, at your house, did Walt rip the babysitter's shirt?
Yes.
And the results were that you were telling the truth about that.
Yes, sir.
That,
I know.
That you believe that that did happen.
No, I know that it happened.
Do you have any comment about that?
It never happened.
I'm not saying a rape happened. I'm just saying, did the shirt get ripped?
I don't even know. I don't even know why she had a babysitter. Why would I be there at her house with a babysitter? I mean, I don't even know her.
That's a lie.
There was a second polygraph administered, and I assume this was the one that has to do with whether or not you were involved in her death.
Yes, sir.
It appears the question was very straightforward. Did you kill Lori? And your answer was?
No.
And it was in a second form. Were you directly involved in causing Lori's death? And your answer was?
No.
The results say that you were non-deceptive, that you were telling the truth, that you were not involved in Lori's death or causing her death. Now, I have here the polygraph test for Walt, and this was confined to whether he was involved in Lori's death. Did you feel that Mr. DeMarco was professional?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do you feel that you were explained everything completely and fully?
Yes, sir.
So you have every confidence that the result in here, you're not going to complain about it whichever way it goes. How about you? You said that he was professional with you.
Absolutely.
What are you going to say if the result here is yes, no, or maybe? I mean, are you going to accept that, or are you going to all of a sudden say, well, something happened?
Oh, absolutely not. Jack was absolutely wonderful. That does not mean that Walt has not taken a drug or anything to, I don't know if that's even possible, but.
Well, I'm not going to give you this polygraph result then because you're already making excuses for the result. It may say that he killed her. It may say that he didn't.
Well,
but you're saying if it says he didn't, well, then maybe he took a drug. I don't know. So you're saying you don't have confidence in Jack DeMarco.
I do. I do.
Look, I want everybody here to have peace in their life. And I'm really trying to bring everybody at least a point where they can choose a different route in this thing. And this, I believe in Jack. I think he's valid. And if he failed his polygraph, then I think this case needs to be reopened. If he didn't, then I think you need to change your position. I mean, if he passed this polygraph, then I think you need to say, well, you know what, I need to move on and try to find out who hurt my sister, who killed my sister. But if you're already saying, well, I'm just going to explain it away.
No, I won't.
Then I refuse to open the envelope. I refuse to do it. I care that Lori gets some justice one way or another.
Well, I'd also, Rachel, I know the things that you've said in the past and how you feel. And I told Dr. Phill earlier, I want you to know I feel sorry for you too. I feel sorry for your family and for myself also. And no matter what, when this is all over and said and done and you finally see that I didn't kill Lori, that I cared and loved for Lori, just like I've always have, I want you to know that I don't have bad feelings for you. I really don't. I feel sorry for you and your family as much as I do mine. My life has been destroyed over this.
So is mine.
So do we open this or do we not?
Yes,
I'd say let's open it.
I'd ask for Jack to come in.
Hey,
Jack,
everybody.
please.
Hey,
Hi, Jack.
How are you, Jack?
Mr. DeMarco, how are you, sir?
It's been a long day, Doctor.
Well, I know that and I appreciate it. I'm curious, we're getting ready to open what I think is a pivotal envelope here. It was a polygraph for Walt. And I won't ask you what the result was yet, but I will ask you if it was a valid test in your view. Do you have confidence in the result?
High degree of confidence, yes.
Okay. Did you detect any countermeasures on Rachel's part when she took her polygraphs?
No, I didn't. It was a very pure test, easy to read.
So was it a close call in her scoring?
No, they were both definitively non-deceptive.
Did you detect anything that would alert you to countermeasures on the part of Walt here?
No. Another clean test and really quite easy for me to score numerically.
Right. So should we open this or should we not?
Yes, I completely believe in Jack.
Well, very straightforward, just as they were with you. Question number 1, did you kill Lori Ann Hill? Your answer was?
No.
Were you present when Lori died? Your answer was?
No.
And the results are?
Coming up.
Why all the different lies, Walt?
Oh, Jesus. Dr. Phill, I'm gonna be sick.
And now the story continues. Did Walt kill his ex-girlfriend? The polygraph test results revealed.
I am here today to take a polygraph test. I'm feeling good about it. I believe we can finally get things straightened out and get the truth out. I'm excited to prove to the world finally that I've passed this, that I had nothing to do with the death of Lori Hill, and let me move on with my life.
Question number 1, did you kill Lori Ann Hill? Your answer was?
No.
Were you present when Lori died? Your answer was?
No.
And the results are that he was being non-deceptive. He was telling the truth. He did not kill your sister. He was not present when your sister was killed. Jack, was this a close call?
No. Just like Rachel's exam, it was very pure and easy numerically to call.
What do you have to say?
I understand what the lie detector's test said. I don't understand why people that were in court...
Can I say something, Dr. Phill, here?
Please.
It's for you. It's to help you. The person that got on the stand and testified to that for all these years has had the exact same story. The day before his testimony, he got on the stand, the prosecutor and my attorneys was notified that he was changing his story the day before his testimony.
Okay, but why even just...
Because he worked for me and we had business problems and he was fired from a job from me. I took it as it was vengeance. And I'm sorry that that's the way it was, but...
Why all the different lies, though, Walt? Why did you tell my mom you were in a bar fight? Why did you tell us? But you did.
I don't remember telling anybody that I was in a bar fight. I've been in bar fights, and I've told the detectives the same thing, okay? Whether that time or wasn't, in your own statement, you said that Lori doesn't even have fingernails to scratch somebody. So how could I be so scratched up?
We're going backwards here.
We're going backwards, you're right. But so,
can you honestly look at her right now and say, we were motivated to come here to help?
We were motivated to come here to help you. I was told that I was coming here because you wanted closure and wanted to help put this together is why I came here. I came here for you, Rachel. I did. Dr. Phill, I want to say one more thing. Rachel's family has meant the world to me. Lori, and she's crying right now to tell you that Lori meant the world to me. I would do anything for her, and she knows it. And you do too, don't you? I want you to personally have closure in this, as well as to let this thing rest. For me, let Lori be, let me be, and let's find the person that did this together.
God, Walt.
I'm so sorry.
Jesus, how are we going to get through this? I believe them too.
I told you.
God, how are we going to get through this?
Together.
Those hands didn't kill her.
They did.
Oh, Jesus. Dr. Phill, I'm going to be sick.
Okay, if you need to go to the girls' room, go ahead.
Which way is it?
Straight through there.
Coming up.
Rachel, can I give you some advice here? You do your sister no service by allowing yourself to fall apart.
We now return to, did Walt kill his ex-girlfriend? The polygraph test results revealed.
Rachel, can I give you an opinion and some advice here? In the interest of fairness, I asked him the hard questions on the show. He resented some of those questions But if you don't ask the hard questions, then people don't have the opportunity to hear the answers.
You have to, it's part of it.
But if it helps you, I never for 1 minute believed that he killed your sister.
I just didn't understand why all the different stories, and I know he was young, and I know he was scared.
If it matters, when I looked at the sum totality of this, you just didn't look like a very good suspect to me. Were there inconsistencies in a record that is 25 years old? Yeah. One thing that I think you haven't done in all of this time is to allow yourself to grieve.
No, sir.
And
that hurts too bad.
That lets wounds just fester and get worse and deeper and deeper. And I hope that you will do two things for me and two things for your sister. One is to take care of you. If I believed what you believed, then I would have been as tunnel vision focused on it as you have been. Because if you believe that, we believe what we tell ourselves. And if you believe that, then I understand why you would be so relentlessly focused on Walt and getting some justice here. But you do your sister no service by allowing yourself to fall apart. You need to grieve your sister's loss. You need to get over any guilt that you may feel for not protecting her. I mean, obviously this man has said that he forgives you and wants to help you move forward and help you find whoever did this to your sister. And I think that's a puzzle that you should solve. But I think you have to solve it with some balance in your life. If it becomes all-consuming, where it's all you do, it's all you think, it's all you feel, you eat, sleep, live it every minute of every day.
Yes.
That's not healthy. That's not what she would want. But you build a fence around it, and then you give yourself permission and simultaneously require yourself to get back in the game. This is no legacy that you give your sister here.
I thought for all these years it was.
It absolutely is not. And you need professional help to navigate this. And I'm going to get you that professional help. Let that be our gift to you. Let me get you some professional help that will help you say, my God, where do I go from here? I've gone 30 years in the wrong direction. I got to make a U-turn and go back and then start over. How do I do that? Let me get you some help putting this back together. Will you take that help? And
yes.
I mean, really really immerse yourself in it.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna make sure that you do, okay?
I will.
Question number 1, did you kill Lori Ann Hill? Your answer was?
No.
Were you present when Lori died? Your answer was?
No.
And the results are that he was being non-deceptive. He was telling the truth. He did not kill your sister. He was not present when your sister was killed.
I am just in shock. I really am, Walt.
I hope that you always knew it in the back of your mind that I didn't do it.
You know why I wanted it to be you so bad? That way it wasn't a monster. That when Lori was killed, that y'all had already gotten in an argument. And she didn't know she was gonna die, and now she, again, it's back. She knew she was gonna die in some piece of
Somebody was very abusive to her.
She fought for her life, that's for sure.
She fought back, and that was something we were proud of that back then. When Dr. Phill read the results of my polygraph test, it was a vindication feeling, and I was really hoping that Rachel would see the light that I didn't have anything to do with her sister's death.
Walt passed the polygraph. He did not kill my sister. I have to forgive him.
It was like a ton of bricks lifted off of my shoulders. I do believe that for the first time in a long time, Rachel knows in her heart that I am innocent.
Walt came over and hugged me. It felt like one chapter had ended.
When I did hug her, she told me, I know you didn't kill my sister.
I will continue for the rest of my life to find the man who murdered my sister and left her on the side of the road like garbage.
I do still hope that the police departments will continue to look for the person that killed Lori Hill and be able to bring them to justice someday. I think of Lori quite often. I just wonder where things would be today if that tragedy never happened.
There are clearly no winners in this unfortunate situation, but it is truly time to move on. When I say move on, I don't mean forget what happened. I don't mean say, well, I guess it's just not knowable. But you do have to put some balance into your life. You do have to say, I'll never forget my loved one. They will always be in my heart, and I will relentlessly pursue answers as to who is responsible for this tragic murder. But I will take care of myself. Life is for the living, and I will do what I have to do to preserve myself so I can pursue that memory. And sometimes the hardest choice of all is to choose to grieve, which means admitting that that loved one is lost and is not coming back. I want to thank all of my guests for being here today, and a special thanks to former FBI Special Agent and polygraph expert Jack Tremarco. We'll see you soon.